I'm going to give some tips today on how you can take better pictures of your products for your home business or for your small business, and you can do all of these tips right in the comfort of your own home. If you're new here, would you please consider smashing that subscribe button? Alright, let's get into the video. So I've been a photographer for about 10 years now. I've just started doing some product photography in about the last 6 months or so. And recently a lot of friends have been asking me for tips on doing product photography for their small businesses. So they want to make sure that they've got the best photos possible, but a lot of them aren't really photographers to start off with, or have just kind of dabbled in it. So that's why I put together this video, so I can drop some tips that I think could help take your product photos to the next level. So the product we're going to be working with today is this handmade pen from Rick's Woodworking. I've got his Instagram link down below if you want to go check out some more of his work. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I would photograph this pen, the cool wood in it, the grain there, and yeah, just show it off. So let's go.
Alright, so for tip number 1, I recommend you use a large window as your key light. A lot of people have a large window somewhere in their house, and it can really diffuse the light and make it look really beautiful. And for tip number 2, I recommend looking around your house for different things you can use as a backdrop. These are just some foam core that I picked up at Walmart for about 99 cents, as well as some pieces of tile that I picked up from Lowe's and or Home Depot. You can pick those up pretty inexpensively, and they make really nice textures for backdrops. Whenever possible, I highly recommend using a remote. This will allow you to get sharper images by not getting any shake from your hands when you press the shutter button. Another option, if you don't have a remote, is to put your camera on a timer mode and press the button, then pull your hands away. Another tip I would recommend trying when you're doing your own product photos is to make sure that your camera is set to the lowest ISO possible. For me, that's ISO 100 on this camera. Most cameras will allow you to do this either in manual mode or some other kind of exposure, although probably not in full auto. So you may have to learn a little bit more about your camera in order to use this. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to reduce the digital noise in your image. It's going to make it look a lot cleaner and a lot sharper. And along those same lines, be sure to use a tripod whenever possible so that you can lower that ISO and slow the shutter speed down if need be. This will help your images turn out much sharper and much clearer and look much more professional. Be sure to try shooting at lots of different angles. You want as many choices as possible for your product photos to increase the perceived quality of the photos.
Alrighty guys, there we have it. What did you think? I thought those photos turned out pretty good, if I say so myself. I really enjoy using these techniques. I think that they're pretty simple to put into practice, but they can really take your photos to the next level. So like I said, be sure to use a window, be sure to use a tripod, try to keep your hands off the camera as much as possible, because when you press the button, even that little bitty press can introduce some shake and can kind of keep your images from being tack sharp. These are techniques that I actually use myself on a day-to-day basis. Now generally I'm doing more product photography in the studio that's a little bit more involved, and I may get to another video on that in the future. But yeah, these are just some simple techniques that I think anybody can put into practice, and they can really help to take your business photos to the next level. Did you guys have any questions? Anything you want to know? Any further clarification on any of the information that I dropped here today? Be sure to leave those in the comments below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would love if you would do that. You could have the best product in the world, but if you don't market it correctly, nobody's going to buy it. And so I think that it's really important to practice your product photography because it can really help take your business to the next level. I hope that these tips were useful to you and help you out. And I really think that if you practice with these, you'll just get better and better at taking photos of your products. Now, if you try any of these tips out, feel free to tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see the photos, and maybe I could even drop a critique if you care about that, or I'll just, give it a like and say hey. So yeah, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Corbin LaFawn. I would love to see what you do with what you've learned from this video. Alrighty guys, that's it for today's video. I do want to say thanks to all the new subscribers we've gotten in the last couple weeks. We've blown right past that 100 subscriber mark. We're up to 120 now. So if you want to keep adding to that count, I would love that. And yeah, the goal is to reach 1,000 by the end of the year. So be sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week for another video.